Hello everyone, Angel here, and I'm back with another Let's Play Star Trek Bridge Commander. Now, this episode was supposed to be starting on the quick battles and the mods. However, the penultimate episode, I got a comment saying that I actually missed a fairly vital interaction that can basically affect the outcome of the final battle, not against Matan, but the four hybrids. So I decided to go back and have a look. Now, I am not live recording my dialogue over this. I just recorded the footage first because I wasn't sure what to expect and how long this would take, and it actually turned out to be somewhat long, and there's a lot here, so I'm recording this after the fact, so I will comment as we go forward. But yeah, the
Sir, Kessok warship ahead.
Preparing to maneuver.
Yeah, so here's this Kessok warship, and last time I just shot at it, but it has its shields down and it's just sitting there. And if you hail it, something will happen.
She's armed and powered. I can't detect any damage to their systems.
Now, this is on me for not kind of, falling back on typical Starfleet mentality, They're clearly offering themselves as a vulnerable target. I should have hailed them, but I was too busy thinking, oh no, let's just kill the solar formers and
kill two birds with one stone.
And go for it. So,
Kessok's shields are down.
Yeah.
Doesn't she do something?
Let's see what happens when we try to hail it.
Initiating scan.
Except I'm apparently a little confused and trying to scan it instead.
I'm detecting complex machinery composed mostly of a silicate-duranium blend. Internal...
There we go. Hail.
They're responding.
Yes.
On screen.
You must my Aussenton send us so many young...
Commander, can you clear up the speech?
With the knowledge I gained from studying the Kessok device, I should be able to enhance the translation. One moment.
Do submit your off-tech, Captain. Now, keep
It sounds upset.
waiting.
Done.
To combat.
The Kessok speech will clear in a moment.
Send your silicon captain to us at once. I will wait, but not long. Out.
Silicon Captain? Do they mean you, Commander Data?
I believe so. Fascinating. Captain, I am willing to transport to the Kessok ship and attempt a peaceful first contact.
Out of the question, sir. We know nothing of their intent.
Nevertheless, it is a risk I am willing to take. Your decision, Captain?
Well, my decision is obvious. Go to the ship.
I believe you have made the right choice, Captain. I will report to the transporter room.
Now, as I recall, you have to wait a minute for him to get to the transport room, get beamed over, and then we get something back. So there's not much to do while we wait. But this does have a notable impact on that final battle, as I mentioned, to the point that I did not...
Right about this, Captain.
Sorry, Safi. My instincts are right, okay? Yeah, see that.
The transporter room reports they are standing by.
See, we have to wait for him to beam over. Anyway, yeah, so it makes the final battle easier to the point that I did not need to cheat. It still took me 3 attempts to do this final battle with the hybrids, because I still died. But in that section, you get I chose the Geronimo as my escort instead of the Klingon or the Romulans. And you get this heavy cruiser here as your other ally.
Prepare to bring him back at the first sign of trouble.
The first sign of trouble was when we found the Kessok ship.
And yeah, I'm kind of skipping over dialogue here.
Well, I suppose there's nothing to do now, but
Sit, wait,
and hope for the
best.
Yes, quite.
I don't like this feeling in my gut.
Maybe you should have passed on the Vulcan Trône soufflé for lunch. A little indigestion is only natural.
Gentlemen, I prefer complete silence when I'm biting my nails.
I kind of liked that banter a bit.
Audio from Commander Data's comm badge. It's a little garbled. Clearing up and patching through.
Data to Sovereign. I am on the bridge of the Kessok ship and have encountered no hostility from its crew.
Thank goodness.
We had an unusual development. There were no life signs that could be read because our sensors are geared to read carbon-based life forms.
The Kessok are silicon-based life forms?
Indeed. I've been communicating with the captain of this vessel. It has taken an interest in me as I have a number of silicon components. I've been able to open a dialogue with it.
Please report, Commander.
I believe a face-to-face conversation would be of more benefit. One moment, please. Sir, this is Captain Nebulous. It was initially very nervous, not certain what to expect from us. I reassured it and explained our chain of command. Also, I have perfected the Kessok speech translation. Nebulous would now like to address you.
Greetings, Captain. I have long urged this meeting on my government. They have been too reliant solely on Cardassian contact for information.
Then you speak for the Kessok government.
Sadly, no.
I have ascertained that Captain Nebulous is a respected leader, but with a reputation as a free thinker.
A rebel? A maverick?
Just so. Nebulous suspected Cardassian motives when the Kessok were first discovered by them. The Federation was painted as the enemy, who would enslave and exterminate the Cardassians and the Kessok.
We wished only to be left to develop our colonies in isolation, but the Cardassians convinced my government we were in danger of being subjugated for our technology.
The solar devices.
Solar-forming platforms. They alter the radiation of a sun to make systems more hospitable for colonization.
How did the Cardassians get them?
I believe the Cardassians manipulated and lied to us. They used us to help rebuild their fleet, claiming they would protect us. I questioned my government as to why the Cardassians never patrolled areas essential to our people. The ships we built for them are controlled by the Cardassian called Matan.
Matan. It always comes back to him.
He would allow no communication between my government and your Federation. This seemed folly to me, so I decided to arrange a meeting with you. Since you did not take advantage of my ship's lowered shields, I know I have made the right decision.
Our orders are to destroy the devices.
I will allow you to examine this device and ascertain its application for yourself, but it must remain in my custody. We rely on these devices for the welfare of our people.
Forgive me, sir. Can we trust a Kessok?
You are wise to be cautious, Commander. However, I believe we may give Nebulous the benefit of the doubt. There is no evidence that it is trying to deceive us.
With respect, sir, you keep calling Captain Nebulous it. Is it... the captain... female?
The Kessok seem to be unconcerned with gender differences, Ensign. And now is not a good time to ask for definitions. Captain, I will examine the solar device on this ship. With Nebulous's help, I should be able to learn much more.
While we're waiting, this would be a good time to contact Starfleet and tell them what we've learned of the Kessok. Yes, Captain? Reporting our status to Starfleet.
So yeah, very long bit of dialogue. But this does keep going a bit, I think. Waiting for Starfleet to get back to us, of course.
Admiral Liu is responding.
Great job, Captain. I'm overjoyed that we've made peaceful contact with the Kessok. And frankly, I'm relieved that you didn't follow my orders to the letter by destroying all the devices. Incidentally, I contacted the Romulan government to inform them we found one of their cloaking devices in the hands of the Cardassians. They admitted to losing 2 cloaking devices. There's no telling if or where the other may turn up. After Commander Data has completed his research, please extend an invitation for Captain Nebulous to join us at Starbase 12. We have a lot to talk about. Liu out.
Message from Data. He's ready to come back now.
Brex.
Yes, Commander. Energizing. He is on board now.
We should head back to Starbase 12.
Captain?
So there we go. Now, despite Starfleet saying now...
Sir, we must leave the nebula before we initiate...
Despite Starfleet saying that, you know, we've got a lot to talk about with regards to the Nebulous here, or Captain Nebulous, nothing actually happens. They don't really have a conversation. He just turns up and is your ally, basically. So that's basically the vast majority of the new information. And the impact it has is that, well, we'll see. Because I'm probably going to skip ahead now to
Sir, we must leave the nebula before we can initiate war.
the next bit of combat. So let's forward this along.
System.
So this was just going through the solar formers and what they're going to do. This, we've already been through this.
Yes, sir. Captain McCrae is hailing us. I'm putting him through.
Greetings, Captain. I'm keen to go kick some Cardassian tail. McCrae out.
Do Cardassians have tails?
So yes, just skipping to head to this bit. Obviously, as I said, I chose the Geronimo and the terribly accented captain.
Through to the view screen.
Blah blah blah.
You have my assurance that I will not betray you. The welfare of my people is at stake. I join you with hope, Captain. This is not our way, but I believe I must cooperate with you. I will communicate with my government as soon as we have destroyed these tachyon emitters. Until then, try to avoid attacking any of my people's ships.
We'll do our best, Captain Nebulous, but I trust you'll understand if it becomes necessary to defend ourselves.
If it comes to that, as God's will.
Course laid in for the Omega Draconis system, sir. Yes, sir? Aye, Captain.
Okay, so basically then it proceeds as we've already seen. We go to the system, Omega Draconis system, and start taking out the tachyon emitters, and then we come to this final battle. So we're on this screen again because this is my third attempt to do this mission, or rather this battle. So the main difference here, as I said, is you get the Geronimo and the Nebulous, and the Nebulous does a pretty good job because it's got some nice firepower to it. But the key difference, I think, is that the Kessok ships that are at this planet, who, as you may remember in the previous episode, were attacking me, do not attack you at all. They just simply stand down and watch what's going on. Then Nebulous takes the place of Data, communicating with them, and then the Kessok join you. So it's very easy to take down the Keldons without taking a lot of damage. None of our ships take a lot of damage because it's just 2 Keldons instead of 3 other ships firing at us. Then once the hybrids arrive, they're still very powerful, but you have enough healthy ships and firepower to actually start taking 1 or 2 down. Another key difference is I actually had 8 phased torpedoes with me, and I think they helped a little bit. I don't know if they really did the job they were all cracked up to be, but let's play it out and see what happens.
I managed to get us pretty close to Omega Draconis 3 before the warp field collapsed.
The Kessok colony is ahead.
And several ships surrounding it. Cardassians and Kessok, all combat ready. It looks like they were expecting us. The Cardassian ships are moving to engage. The Kessok ships are standing down. It looks like we won't have to fight them.
Yes! Having a Kessok escort
Red
looks
alert,
like a charm.
shields up. Captain, we should destroy that tachyon emitter as soon as possible, so we can parley with the Kessok colony.
Captain McCrae is hailing us. I'm putting him through.
Let's finish off these Cardassians.
Nebulous is hailing us, Captain. On screen. Intercept course plotted.
Destroying the emitter should allow me to contact the colony.
Okay, so give a little bit of a pass to the Cardassians as we go by, just to help out a little. Using photon torpedoes for now, just so I don't want to waste any quantums. I wanted as much firepower as possible because we still have to deal with Matan. But already this doesn't feel quite as overwhelming as the previous attempt, because I don't have 5 ships firing at us all. The only other reason I chose the Geronimo is because it has quantum torpedoes. As much as I love the Galaxy class, it doesn't have quantum torpedoes.
Intercept course plotted.
Tachyon emitter destroyed, Captain.
That's done it, sir. Comm channels are beginning to clear up.
Incoming message from Captain Nebulous. It reports it is signaling the Kessok colony.
Yeah, so these Kessok heavy destroyers, or whatever they are, they have a lot of forward firepower. And so, yeah, they just smash these Keldons to pieces.
Target hull integrity at 50%.
Damn, what is taking so long?
So yeah, this is the same. If this was Data, it was like, damn, what's taking so long? Because they obviously want the battle to progress.
Nebulous' head.
And yes, I do know that the track beam drains a little power, but I like it.
Hail, Captain. I have told my people of the Cardassian treachery. They have
Cancel red
reluctantly
alert.
agreed to
Changing
support
torpedo
you
alert.
in your efforts here, and they will be open to Federation
Yep, I think that was a Discord noise from the recording, so sorry about that.
The Kessok are turning on the Cardassians. Captain, I'm reading several
Red
new
alert,
contacts.
shields up.
They look like the hybrids we found at the Shambana shipyard.
The energy signature's that of Kessok ships.
I'm receiving a transmission on an open channel to all ships. On screen.
This is Legate Matan of the Cardassian Empire. Your presence here is in violation of Cardassian sovereignty. You have had but a taste of our energy, and you have seen the power we wield. Continue, and you will risk extinction. Leave
Their
this
bottom
system
shield
at
is draining,
once,
sir.
or be destroyed.
Miguel, which ship is Matan in?
I can't tell, Commander. His transmission was diffracted laterally among the hybrids.
Incoming message from the Kessok commander. Their ships are going to fall back to defend their colony. They're disengaging, sir.
Our ventral shields are
I
draining,
guess
sir.
they're pessimistic about our odds of stopping Matan.
Nebulous is hailing us, Captain. On screen.
I apologize, Captain, for my people's withdrawal. I cannot explain or condone the political decision our commander has made.
Sir, we are
However,
draining their top
I will
shield.
remain with you to help against these Cardassian abominations.
Captain McCrae is hailing us. I'm putting him through.
They're difficult to take down, Captain. They take our best hits and just keep coming.
I was right about their energy signatures. These hybrids combine Cardassian and Kessok technology.
They seem to have added a few touches of their own. They aren't using standard Cardassian or Kessok weapons.
Switching to photon
Leave it to the
torpedoes, Captain.
Cardassians to find a better way to destroy. Any ideas, Chief?
Just two. Keep our strong shields toward them and use
We have
quantum
collapsed their bottom
torpedoes.
shield.
So yeah, I just wanted to let all that dialogue play out. So you can see already we're actually doing quite a bit better job against the hybrids already, despite me wasting my torpedoes a little bit there.
New contact entering system. It's the Enterprise.
But alas, we did lose the Geronimo, and I apparently took a screenshot.
Enterprise
Shields are at
Geronimo is
75%.
destroyed.
Not a moment too soon, Captain. The Cardassians are putting up stiff resistance.
We'll see if we can remedy that. Hold tight. We're moving to engage.
Captain, we have collapsed their bottom shield.
Shields are at 75%.
Now, I am still taking a beating here, and indeed I will take quite a bit of more of a beating. I almost did not win this, and this could have been a fourth attempt, because these things are still damn tough. So we've lost to Geronimo, and I did wonder, will that have any further impact? But no, it doesn't. The story just does not reference the fact that you lose the Geronimo at all. Once you kill Matan, the final cutscene triggers, and that's the end of the game. There's no, further aftermath or dialogue.
Main power is
So that's a little disappointing. As much as I don't like the character, the game just basically doesn't acknowledge that he dies at this point. I mean, it did. If you lose him earlier in the game, sure, it acknowledges it and it makes a big deal about it. But once it's here, it's like, nah, no one gives a shit. I think we end up losing the Neblig as well. I can't quite remember. I think we do. So yeah, again, the help of this guy, not referenced. No one cares. So that's a bit disappointing. But as far as this game path goes, this is a much better version of the game path because it makes this fight a bit harder, a bit easier. But it's still tough. It's still a good, hard fight. But I don't feel that it's too hard that I need to cheat, or that I'm just not good enough. So yeah, and I really like seeing the Kessok, because one of my complaints was that we didn't really get to know or see the Kessok much. We just basically had maybe one or two interactions at most. But this was a nice long interaction, and obviously this is probably the intended path of the game, and I just went down the evil path of just blow everything up. So that's on me, but I'm glad that I get to see this, and it's important that I try to see this as well, so I can get a better judgment of the game in my final review. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that we got to see something of the Kessok, silicon-based life forms, and what happened. And it also, if you remember, I've kind of criticised how Matan can launch this invasion with the ships that he has. If he's only representing a house or a faction of the Cardassians, not the entire Cardassian Empire, then where is he getting all the resources to all build all these ships and the manpower for it? So this kind of partially explains it. And as we suspected, and just sort of theorised, the Kessok were indeed building their ships for them. The game doesn't really explain how big the Kessok are in terms of shipbuilding capacity. I mean, they're kind of treated as like a minor power at best. They have strong technology, sure, but they don't seem to field massive fleets of these things. So I'm curious just what capacity of shipbuilding can they have, but that doesn't really answer the personnel problem. You still need people to man these ships, and you need troops, and
75%.
Matan is still only representing a faction, or a fraction, if you will, of the Cardassian Empire. It's never stated just what a level of power Matan actually has within the Cardassian Empire. Obviously, it must be a lot to have this level of ships and troops with him. But for me, this just begs the question: why didn't he first try to take over the Cardassian Empire first? Was it the Cardassian Union? The Cardassian Union, as far as I know, ceased to exist after the end of the Dominion War, so this is the Cardassian Empire now. But yeah, wouldn't it have made more sense for Matan to first basically use that power to make a military coup in the Cardassian Empire so that he takes control of the entire Cardassian military? Then you've got the resources of the Empire that you can then ally with the Kessok and use their technology and start upgrading your ships using your main Empire's shipyards. Then you are ready to challenge the Federation. That I could have bought, because you've at least got the Empire rebuilding, and you've got this advanced technology which really will challenge even a sovereign class. So yeah, I could buy that the Cardassians could then become a threat again. I still don't buy that they could win a war.
Main power is offline.
Because I still think the Federation is just, in terms of sheer vastness and resources, the Federation just eclipses the Cardassians. Remember, the Cardassians needed the might of the Dominion to even challenge the Federation. Now, I know we had the border wars and skirmish wars, but I don't see that as total war. That's just, this bit of territory is ours, no, we're going to defend it. It's just a mile back and forth, whereas the Dominion War was total war. And the Cardassians would never have had the power to challenge the Federation on that level. And I think that's still true today, because it would even be worse, because as I said, Federation technology is heavily militarized at this point now, thanks to the Borg and the Dominion War. They know how to fight. And their ships are top-notch.
50%.
And they've got more of them, so yeah. And then that doesn't even, you got the Klingon Empire as well, and then the Romulans, who have all been sort of affected by this, so I still don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't buy this whole angle that Matan could have challenged the Federation. If we just take everything in the scope of it all, I think this is the flawed point of storytelling. I think if what you could have made this story better is if you actually had Matan was actually trying to do a military coup to the Cardassian Empire instead of invading the Federation, and we as the Federation are trying to help the legitimate government of Cardassia defend against this coup. And then we can have had things play out largely in the same kind of manner, perhaps. But you just swap it for Cardassian territory instead, and have more Cardassian interactions. Get rid of the Romulan aspect, maybe, except maybe for the cloaking device. I guess we might need a Romulan, maybe a Tal Shiar angle there. I'm not so sure we need the Klingons in this one.
I'm receiving a broadcast message.
It's debatable.
Our ship is in need of repairs.
Matan.
We should return to Starbase. What? All the hybrids are destroyed.
So yeah, now it's going to be basically we're going to end up fighting Matan.
You're welcome, Starfleet.
But anyway, back to my theory crafting. Yeah, if he was trying to take over the Cardassian Empire and we're trying to stop it, that would have made the story, I think, a bit more plausible for what's going on. If Matan has that military power, yes, he can definitely challenge the power of the Cardassian Empire. It's a civil war at that point. Now, I know the Federation doesn't necessarily get involved, but...
On screen.
I'm sure we can find some kind of pretext to have the Federation involved. It's not that hard. There can be an external factor where, it's just like in Redemption, where Starfleet didn't get directly involved, they just wanted to make sure that Romulans didn't get directly involved, and when we did expose the Romulans' involvement, it caused the Civil War to basically collapse and fall over, because the House of Duras didn't have that military support from the Romulans anymore. So something similar could have played out here, and that's a pretext for the Federation to get involved.
The Solar Former is right beside him.
His ship is cloaking.
Matan sure is slippery.
Not surprised.
It's an interesting discussion,
Considering Cardassian,
and I hope you find that interesting as well.
called mecha moves.
So, right now, this is going to play out largely the same way, with one exception. I did not manage to destroy his cloaking device before he managed to recloak.
Starfleet.
So, what happens instead is that Data ends up going on the Solar Former and basically shutting it down that way, instead of us dealing with Matan. And that's it. That's the only difference here. I did get a bit of a Star Trek Insurrection vibe, because, when Picard beams over, all diehard-like, to the
Torpedoes at it and be
collector thing that's going to kill everyone on the planet.
I am not so sure.
This is kind of what this reminded me of.
Destroying the Solar Former is what he seems to want us to do.
I agree. You'd think someone as intelligent as Matan wouldn't give us a clear shot at his precious doomsday device, unless he's gone mad.
You're considering the sanity of a man whose hobby is destroying solar systems?
I think we should get close enough to the Solar Former to do an intensive scan.
I'd feel more comfortable blowing it up from here.
Captain, we're taking damage from our proximity to the sun.
Red alert, shields up. Can we hold together, Chief?
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about the sun thing disabling our ability to repair. So if you notice my ship during that fight while I'm rambling on about the plot holeness of the whole invasion arc, my ship took a major beating. I almost lost that fight. So it was actually one of the most fun engagements I had in the entire game. Because it didn't feel obnoxiously hard that I was just giving up. I felt that I could win, I just needed to get the right positioning. One of my other complaints about this is that you can't hail your allies when you have communications going on. The hail button is grayed out, so you can't order your allies to start concentrating on one target, and that's really annoying, especially at the opening part of the fight. I'm really trying to right, everyone, go on this one target, and then it doesn't happen, so you can see kind of I'm just trying to target the one that's all being focused on by the other ships, just to try and help, but
I think we should go help the Kessok evacuate.
Initiating scan.
So yeah, now we're getting Matan to decloak, and I'm just a bit slow, and so yeah, I'm not going to end up taking out his cloaking device.
Bad news, Captain. Apparently, the sun is past the point of no return.
It will go supernova no matter what we do?
I'm afraid so. And we don't have much time left.
I have an idea, Captain. We can try inverting the polarity of the Solar Former's emitters.
The good old inverting, reverting the polarity. Works every time.
When I scanned the device, I noticed that its internal computer was locked by an encryption code.
Can we break?
Maybe there's something about the...
Incoming transmission from Matan.
I have a lock, Captain. Ready to fire on your order.
The Solar Former was to be the cornerstone for the rebirth of the Cardassian Empire.
Sorry, Captain. Our tractor field amplifiers are offline.
fool!
The sun's greatly elevated radiation is throwing off the polarity of our graviton
Damn,
generators.
we've lost our chance. Let's concentrate all our efforts on that Solar Former now.
Main power.
I do remember trying to use manual fire to try and hit a cloaked ship, but it just ends up firing my aft torpedoes. I'm like, oh. Why can't you just fire my forward torpedoes?
Initiating scan.
Something I missed from Klingon Academy.
Nothing new detected, Captain. I have nothing to add.
At this point, I'm like, what do we do now? And then I'm like, oh yeah, we talk to Data and we order him to go.
Yes, Captain. I will report to the transporter room.
Captain, that sun is really unstable. Whatever Matan did with the Solar Former tipped the balance. It's now in atomic acceleration.
How long do we have?
We have about 8 minutes until the sun reaches critical mass.
Commander Data is in the transporter room. Energizing. He's now inside the solar former.
Matan's ship is decloaking.
I guess we got his attention.
Matan is targeting the solar former.
Sir, you might have
We
heard me
have to
mention
protect
before that our
Commander
tractor
Data.
beams will
Commander
not work
Data
here.
is signaling us from the solar former. Audio only.
Captain, I have removed the housing from the solar former's signal module. I am
Sir,
now
we are
attempting to
draining their
decrypt
top
the
shield.
cipher. Stand by.
So yeah, again you can see that the shields are not showing when we shoot at Matan's ship. I mean, it clearly has them based on the indicator HUD that he has shields, but there is no visual impact of shields.
Main power is at 50%.
So I wonder if that's just because we're near the sun, or it's a quirk of Matan's ship, assuming it's a unique Kelden entry.
Stand by.
So presumably it has, obviously it's got the cloaking device, but it might have additional,
It is done.
weapon and shield hull stats.
Miguel, bring Commander Data back.
Lowering shields. Energizing. Commander Data is back on board.
Now, let's deal with Matan.
Matan is trying to destroy the solar former.
We have to stop him.
So yeah, at this point I just thought, okay, I'll just disable his impulse engines. And I do, except his impulse, but he basically manages to orientate his ship before I destroy his engines with all his weapons facing towards the solar former. So I almost lost this again because the solar former almost died. Eventually you do end up disabling his ship. So, and then the sequence of events you've seen before happens.
75%.
So yeah, after this, I'll post this video. I will also end up posting the quick battle video probably a day later.
Hull integrity at 50%.
I just need to make sure, might need to redo the intro on that one because I don't know if I actually reference, well, I didn't reference anything that I've done since then, so I might want to just update that intro so it acknowledges that I did this, and then move on with our lives. But I do hope you appreciate that I went back and tried to do this without cheating, because it did bother me that I had to cheat to do it. I don't like cheating to win the game. It cheapens the experience. I have cheated. I do use cheats, but that's only because I've already played the game. I've completed it many times. I'm more interested in doing something different, weird for a change, just for fun.
Let him burn.
But when trying to actually beat the game on its terms, I don't want to cheat.
Can't imagine these sparking consoles are a good sign.
Our primary EPS conduits have blown out. Switching to secondary systems, plasma coolant containment is compromised. We may have to vent it completely.
And as far as multiplayer cheating goes, that can fuck right off. I have zero tolerance for that.
We have impulse and up to warp 4 at your command.
So yeah, that's it. Game over. And as I said, nothing different comes from that. But I really do like that particular arc better than the arc that I took. And not just because I had to cheat, or I felt that I had to cheat to beat it, but it was just a bit of a less satisfying
The Sovereign has returned
ending for the story for me. But this at least felt a bit more
Kessok solar former.
Starfleet, It was a Starfleet diplomatic solution of a sort. We still had a lot of combat, but, we managed to
However, justice appears
bring the Kessok down. We didn't need to engage them. And it gels with the ending a bit better, I think, with this ending cutscene. So, and I know I'm talking over this, but if you want to see this, I don't talk over this in my other video, so you've seen this already. So yeah, I'm gonna cut this video here. Thank you for watching, and join me next time for the quick battle video, and then it's on to the mods. And I did pick 3 mods, so Kobayashi Maru, I think it's Legends, and the remaster. How much time I spend on them really depends on what differences there are between them, so we will see. But we'll do some different scenarios and see how it rolls. So yeah. So until that time, thank you for watching and fly safe.
So I'll say bon voyage, Captain, and see you out there.